Hi, Micah here. I have to just share a quick, brief story about a recent experience when my fiance Jim and I took a short trip to Jerome, Arizona, because we live in Phoenix, Arizona. We're both Arizona natives, so we've both been to Jerome quite a few times. But this experience was entirely different than any experience we've had before. And I need to express my profound gratitude to Andrea, the owner and steward of the Surgeon's House. And I write about this in more depth as to what it was like, all the details, what I experienced, including potential paranormal things. Side note, I really do enjoy a lot of paranormal stuff, and I have experienced a lot of those things, but I don't share it a lot. But as an energy worker, of course, it's natural for me to work with all energy, and some of that could be residue from the past, or maybe potentially spirits that are here trying to communicate. So that's another story for another day. But I needed a respite to convalesce my spirit and psyche. I had not had any kind of out-of-town overnight trip at all in 2 years due to circumstances beyond my control. And I was becoming very unhealthy and restless. I need to travel. It's very important to me. I don't need to travel constantly or all the time, but I need to have regular travel in my life. That's important to me. And I need to experience something, And I need to tell you, I am an Aries sun, so I'm not prone to tears very easily. I can be pretty cold, or at least come across that way. But if my spirit is moved, that Pisces rising and that Taurus moon, my Venus is also in Taurus, so I feel everything to the nth degree. And if my heart or spirit are moved, tears move. And I was tearful frequently because I felt so much relief being at the Surgeon's House in Jerome. We spent 2 nights there, which I think was kind of perfect because we traveled for 2 of the days, but one day we had to it's a small place, there's not a whole lot to do, but just taking an entire day to not have anything planned was magical for us. And we were able to meander. I read a book in the atrium at the Surgeon's House and actually dozed off even though workers were repairing something outside the building. I've never been that relaxed in my life. When I walked into that space, it felt like a home. It's a business and you need to treat it as such, but it still felt like I was being invited into the home of a loved one who I am so comfortable with, that just allows me to just be. As long as I respect and honor that space, then I was respected and honored in return. And the space has been set up by Andrea, the owner, and her helpers. She doesn't call them employees, she calls them helpers. She considers herself a steward of that property. And she has made it her life's mission, essentially, to create this wonderful healing space where people can come and relax and get what they need. And talking to other guests, which terrified me because I've never been to a bed and breakfast and I'm extremely introverted, and talking to strangers while eating breakfast sounded horrifying to me and I was really nervous about it. But Andrea set it up perfectly by explaining what she made and why she made it. Dietary considerations of the guests are taken into consideration when she makes things from scratch for you, and she explains why she makes certain things. She'll even include how certain things will help your digestion, so don't be afraid to try it. It was just beautiful. The intention behind everything was of caring, compassion, nurturing, and I felt so nurtured, and it was so relaxing that the conversation amongst the few of us that were there was also natural, not contrived, and not superficial small talk. It was meaningful, and there's so much purpose behind everything she does, so much intent. And it makes you feel like you're visiting a loved one and meeting a few new people that maybe they already know. And when I went into that space, it reminded me of being at my grandmother's when I was little, the one space I could always go to where I could just be myself. And I wasn't told who to be or how to be. And I was loved as I was and accepted as I was. And I forgot how much I needed that until I walked into that space. And one of the guests that had been there many times over the years, got married there 9 years ago, said that every time they come there, they each get something they didn't even realize they needed. Every person has a unique experience with each visit and in each room, because they're all very unique as well. And the room we had was just what I needed. And I'm sure Jim enjoyed himself too. He did, I promise. He took amazing photos with her permission. We got her permission. We didn't tell her what I was using them for. And she doesn't know I'm making this video. But I needed to do it from my heart because I feel like it's important to support small businesses, especially ones that are local where you live, and especially ones that work so hard from their heart and soul. Whether they're people who don't like the word minority, what's the other word I want to use? Like women and people who have been suppressed for whatever reason. I'm drawing a blank on the term I want to use. Sorry. But I feel like it's important to support those kind of businesses and people and witness what is possible when you do put your lifeblood into something. It's beyond magical. I was in awe the entire time, and thinking about it brings tears to my eyes because I still was so moved at the love and care and compassion that was put into each detail, from the plants outside, the koi ponds, the rooms and how unique and individual they are, the main sitting rooms and the books that are displayed and about the historical pieces that are everywhere. I can't begin to go into it. So I will include the slideshow, mostly of Jim's pictures because he's a professional photographer. I'm not. And if they're taken by me, I'll say that they're taken by me. But most of them are from him. And you just have to see how beautiful this space is. So I'll include a slideshow. I'm hoping in the Medium article that I'm going to be posting. So I will cross-link both of these to each other so you guys can find each other, these posts. And if you have anything like that near you and you don't want to travel far, or if you're in Arizona, I highly encourage you to step out of the norm, especially if if you need nurturing or your spirit and psyche need to convalesce, need to regenerate, need to feel reborn in a way. Then sometimes getting out and away for a night or two, even if it's close by, is all the medicine you need. And thank you to Andrea and all of her helpers for making our stay so completely magical, for giving us space to be ourselves, trusting us with your home, and making us feel like honored guests at the same time. It was amazing, and I'm still in awe at how you're able to find that balance. So thank you, many blessings, and thank you if you've watched this far.